300 on the season. So St. Louis gets the nod for catcher, but I still give my win to Atlanta, mainly because they're at home and the Braves faithful are going to be very loud at turn field.
And Steven, I see the starting, closing, and the bullpen as the pitching staff, and they favor the Braves in all of them because if you look at this, Chris Medlin is one of the greatest stories in this game this year, and he is undefeated when he starts. And that's a story that's unforgettable. I mean, he starts every game, and they're undefeated when he starts. And Kyle Lausch is kind of like him because he throws strikes. He's all in the park. But, I think when you look at the matchup, I think I would have to give the Braves the nod because you see Chris Medlin as, one of the greatest stories. Would you agree with me on that, Steven? If you had to look at Kyle Lausch and Chris Medlin, which one would you pick and why?
I'll give my nod to Medlin because of the streak that I brought up and then you brought up too. And also, you're talking about the bullpen and it all went to Atlanta, mainly because of Craig Kimbrell. He is becoming one of the best. I'm going to say this, one of the best closers right now in the National League. He has 42 saves on the season, and his ERA is at 1.01. That is ridiculous for a closer. He throws total chat. He's really closing up the game so much. He also has 116 strikeouts. His whip is unbelievable. 0.65. That's 0.65 walks and hits per inning. So he literally gives up one hit or walk every 2 innings. And that's the reason why Atlanta is so good near the end of the game because of their bullpen. It's so deep. Plus the fact that they also have the left-handed pitcher, the name of this. I think this was it, Mike Minor or something like that. He's a left-handed center man, but just I give my nod to the Braves again. I'm going to keep on saying that, and I'm looking for a big postseason out of these two teams. I'm predicting to win Atlanta and Baltimore, and we're going to have a very fun ALDS and ALCS and possibly a great World Series that we're going to have on hand this year.
Now, Steven, let's go with the Reds and Giants as the first game has already been set for the Reds as Dusty Baker and Bruce Bochy already make their picks. Matt Cain versus Johnny Cueto. Steven, what do you have to say on this one? Matt Cain, the horse for the Giants. He has been unstoppable as a Giant. He has had one of the greatest seasons as a Giant. Johnny Cueto, on the other hand, has been really good as well. He has been great for the Reds and carried them through his pitching. Steven, I know this is gonna be a tough because the Giants are 3-4 against the Reds this season. What do you expect from the Giants? And I know they haven't played them in a while, but what do you expect from them? And what do you expect from the Reds?
I don't really expect a lot from both teams offensively because this is gonna be a total pitching duel. Pretty much, this is gonna go pretty much down to a wire. I think that the pitcher that makes the first mistake and gives us the only run will lose this ballgame for the team. And I say that because like you said, Johnny Cueto and Matt Cain are the starters of the ace, I should say, for both these ball clubs, and they've done such a great job on this season. Cain, for replacing Tim Liscombe as the ace of the Giants. Liscombe has had a very shaky season, one of his worst this year. So Giants are looking to use Cain and then Bumgarner in game 2. But for Johnny Cueto, he's having a very good season as well as he has become the ace for the Reds, along with Matt Latos, who came over from a trade with the San Diego Padres that said Escobar pledge to San Diego. So, but Johnny Cueto, 19.9, 2.78 ERA, doing some work out of the Dominican Republic. And this is only his 4th season, and he's 26. I think he has probably a good 10, 12 more years in him. and I expect a lot of good things. I can see him as a Hall of Famer if he keeps up these great seasonal stats.
Thanks, Steven, so much. And I love your insight with this game. I know this game is all going to be about pitching. And the offense hasn't been all much, but the Reds do have a little bit of more advantage in the offensive game than the Giants. But the Giants have they're great. They have this spirit in the fans that gets them going. And Steven, this is all the time I have for you, but thanks for being on my show so much. And we're hoping for a good NL and AL wildcard game. Steven, you have anything else to say before you go?
I got two things. First, I'm going to just quickly go down my predictions for the entire playoffs quickly just before I have to go. And like I said, I was going to go with Baltimore and Atlanta in the wildcard games. And then for the American League ALDS series, we'll go with the A's, surprisingly, and we'll go with the Yankees. The A's and Yankees in the ALCS, and then for the NLDS, we'll go with the Giants. We'll go with the Nationals. The Giants, Nationals, Yankees, A's in the LCS series in the postseason. A's, Yankees, I'm going to give easily to the Yankees, and then Giants and Nationals, unfortunately, I'm going to give that one to the Nationals. And the Nationals and Yankees are taking on, they're going to battle out. It's going to be East Coast World Series. I'm going to give that one to the Nationals. Nationals gained the World Series victory. And then also, see that you got a shot at Robert from 101.9. The A's won the AL West. And that's probably the top story here in the Bay Area. A lot of happy fans, both in San Francisco and Oakland, as both of their teams for the first time in a very long time, both teams make it to the playoffs. So thank you, Ron, for being on my show. I'll talk to you later, and I'll be happy to do one of your shows again, and hopefully I can do this show soon, possibly next week. I'll see if I can do one.
All right, Steven, thank you so much for welcoming me on my show. I know you won't do that, it's Deits and Steven's All Out Sports show for a while, but hopefully we can get back to it soon. Thanks so much, Steven, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Thanks for being on the show. Thanks for letting me be on your show.
No problem, Steven. And we also have one more guest here, as Jason Garoline will come on for one more baseball segment here, as I try to call him. But what I want to bring up the topic is Boston Red Sox fire Bobby Valentine after a trying year. What do you think of this and the situation? Well, think of this as a situation where you see that Bobby Valentine wasn't a very good manager at all. And, he did try. I wouldn't say that he didn't try at all. And he just got to improve. I know he went for the Mets, but unfortunately didn't get that World Series. And we actually have Jason Garoline on the phone. Jason, how are you?
I'm good.
So, Jason, what do you think of Bobby Valentine being fired after one season?
Well, I didn't think Bobby was a good fit with the Red Sox. I didn't see him really lasting there for that long. It didn't seem like the right place for him, and he obviously could not handle a manager job.
And, Caroline, I understand that this is where Valentine has not been the greatest manager. What do you think Valentine has to improve on to become a better manager if he wants to come back and be one?
He has to be learn to be aggressive and not take trash from people. I mean, he obviously just gave up on the Red Sox and let everyone talk behind his back. And it's not just a sports thing, it's an emotional thing. People aren't going to want you if you're not willing to fight back. And then people just take command of the team, and he was not a good member of that team.
And we actually have a quote here from Valentine. I understand this decision. This year in Boston has been an incredible experience for me, but I am disappointed in the results as the ownership and the great fans of the Red Sox nation. It was a privilege to be a part of the 100-year anniversary of Fenway Park and an honor to be in uniform with such great players and coaches. My best to the organization. I'm sure it will be a turnaround year for them next. And what do you think of that quote? If he understands the decision, he knows he he didn't do so well. Do you think what do you think the ownership's gonna do now? What manager do you think would replace Bobby Valentine?
I don't know a specific manager. They're going to be they're going to do a very hardcore interviewing process. They want the best manager for the event. With a team that is always here to excellency, a city that expects excellency. This year was definitely a wake-up year for the Red Sox to realize that replacing Terry Francona was not going to be easy, so they're going to look for the next great manager.
Thanks, Caroline, for being on the show and about this Bobby Valentine situation. Thank you so much. And do you have any words to say before you go?
I'm not going to say much, but I know the Astros are going to go to the World Series. I'm going to say.
All right, thanks, Caroline, and thanks for being on my show.
Goodbye.
All right, well, we'll take a small break here, but when we come back, we're going to NFL with Nick Rice, and I'll be asking him some questions on the New York Jets as Mark Sanchez. He feels confident and not threatened by Tim Tebow that he will be the starter after an 0-34 loss to the Niners. Greg Jennings is out against the Colts, so that'd be a big effect on that game as well. And some top 5 teams power rankings from Nick Rice will be back right after this commercial break.
The same birthday, the wordplay is work, but it's easy. So catch me, I'm ballin'. I'm sick too if you ain't catch me like coughing. Back when I said you should catch me like Spalding. It's cool, cause most cats that I bump into can't catch me that often. Most times I just end up falling. Ball for a few, then end up walking. Catch me in the ball with a Cinderella waltzing. And I do it till it's no longer exclusive. Might go once, might go twice, but never 3 times like I auction to it. See, I walk into it, I do my thing, then tell the owner that it's cool to let y'all into it. Catch me, I'm ballin', catch me, I'm ballin', catch me like Spalding, catch me like Spalding. If he indeed DMC, vitamin like GNC, Lupe. Yeah, catch me, I'm ballin', catch me, I'm ballin', catch me like Spalding, catch me like Spalding. ABB to ALC, man, we stay on a JOP. Yeah, put me on EV to the TOP, did a little bit of time on CAP. But this right here, dog, there is no fee to get me down. If I don't really feel your speed, see, I never trust them. Catch me, I'm ballin'. Tailor-made custom, must be I'm all in. Still want it like worst come to worst, to the point where I never call myself.
Hello and welcome back to the Deits Sports Talk. I'm your host, Robert Dieters, and right now I'm still trying to get a hold of Nick Rice here, but we will have some interesting topics when we come back here, and I believe Nick Rice. And we're still waiting for Nick Rice here. As Nick Rice is on the line. Hey, Nick, you're on the air. How are you?
Thanks, Robert. I am doing great. Glad to be on another show. Robert, thanks for having me on.
And I got my first my first headline here. Mark Sanchez, confident as a starter, is not threatened by Tim Tebow. What do you think of that statement after an 0-34 loss to the Niners?
Well, absolutely. There is flux over in New York, and that starts with the quarterback position. Mark Sanchez, since before the year started in the preseason, was questioned for his absolutely quarterback position, and now it seems like he deserves all the criticism. After a 34-0 loss, the blame is on him, and you can put the blame on the defense, and certainly there was a lot of blame to go around, but the Jets seemingly do not have a quarterback that can take them to the playoffs, let alone what Rex Ryan wants in a Super Bowl appearance. And right now for the Jets, the best thing for New York right now is to put in Tim Tebow. Now the ironic thing is, the Jets are in perhaps as close to a situation and as a football team that the Broncos were last year when they plugged in Tebow after a 1-4 start.
And I know Mark Sanchez is still feeling confident, but we're gonna have to see after the next start, and it's like the Jets aren't a team still, as you said. They're still not working together, and they still can't get it together. As this is what Mark Sanchez said on his quote: "I don't feel threatened to lose my job at all. It's no different whether it's Tim Tebow or Mark Brunell or Kellen Clemens. It doesn't change, and I'm not worried at all." Mark Sanchez has to be worried at this point. If this is a QB that's going to start, you have to play like one. Would you agree with me on that, Nick Rice?
Absolutely. It's common sense that Mark Sanchez